This is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good afternoon. I'm Ray Collins. Topping our news at noon, the death toll is rising in Texas due to the floodwaters of Harvey. Police have rescued some 3,000 people and thousands more are staying in shelters. ABC's Maggie Rulli has more from Houston.
Historic flooding has brought southeast Texas to a standstill. President Donald Trump and First Lady are on their way to Corpus Christi, where they will see firsthand the devastation Harvey has left behind. Just northeast in Houston, rescuers are working around the clock to save residents fighting to stay above water, floating on air mattresses, piling into canoes, and lifting out of harm's way in rescue baskets. Life and death moments playing out over hundreds of square miles.
It was just a blessing to be rescued.
They've saved more than 6,000 people so far, but thousands more are still waiting to be rescued, and the flooding is only getting worse.
I didn't even imagine that it was going to be this catastrophic like this. This is horrible. I have my 2-year-old, he told me he was scared.
Local dams are on the cusp of overflowing. Officials releasing water from 2 of them to avoid catastrophic structure damage, but that water's threatening homes downstream. All that water surging into already flood-ravaged towns and cities in South Texas. Evacuated residents are flooding shelters to capacity. An emergency shelter at the convention center in downtown Houston, meant to house 5,000, is now at nearly 9,000 people and growing.
We're not going to turn people away.
Hospitals across Houston facing power outages and rapidly dwindling supplies are now racing to evacuate patients.
If you start to run out of supplies and you can't feed people, that's a big problem.
The EPA will begin checking the flood water for contamination here in Houston, checking to see how much sewage and chemicals are in the water supply. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, Houston, Texas.
Back in this area, heavy rain and flooding being blamed for the death of an elderly man. Sarasota police say 73-year-old James Kitchell was killed on Sunday in the parking lot of the dog track after his car submerged in floodwater. Police say Kitchell drove in a drainage ditch and became trapped. Attempts were made to revive him, but he was pronounced dead. The investigation is still active. Also at that same location, police removed another submerged car, but this driver was able to escape. Sarasota Police's underwater search and recovery team used a tow truck to pull the car out of the water. An update this noon on the damage the storm left behind across the Suncoast. Contractors had a meeting this morning with residents of Shady Brook in Bradenton. It's an area that was impacted hard by flooding. Of the 177 units, 33 were damaged. Some condos had about 2 feet of water. This morning's meeting was all about cleanup efforts. Contractors were also there to assist with the placement of new cabinets, flooring, and other things that were damaged by the rain over the weekend. One woman found herself in the middle of the flooding while driving from the grocery store, she says.
The rain just kind of started and it didn't stop. And I barely made it home because of all the flooding on Whitfield. People were going off the roads and ditches.
So we have been in touch with...
Bacteria levels were also checked. The condos were also damaged last year by Hurricane Hermine. Longboat Key has also been dealing with flooding. On Monday, there were still many sections of the main road deep in water, and the pouring rain didn't help much. Spots along the Gulf of Mexico Drive were covered in water, and cars were plowing through the flooded road, making it a little dangerous to get around Longboat Key.
This is probably the worst flooding I've seen in my days, but I think we'll get through it.
Our patrol officers started experiencing flooding late Friday into Saturday morning, and we had a couple of flooded out cars on Gulf of Mexico Drive. Our officers were out there working hard, getting those cars to a safe location.
Crews from the Longboat Key Public Works Department spent the day pumping out water to help improve that flooding situation. The heavy rain also turned some yards into rivers. Look at that video taken by one of our viewers in Mayaca Valley Ranch. She says she and her neighbors were nearly flooded out of their homes. The river at nearby Mayaca State Park also experienced record flooding. Park rangers fear the river could still crest. A few parks in Venice that were closed due to flooding are back open today. They include the South Jetty, points of all around the city fountains as well, including the interactive children's fountain in Centennial Park. Also, Sharkey's and Casperson Beach are back open today. Venice city officials say that the waters have receded on the roads. And in Sarasota County, University Parkway is back open in both directions. Crews are removing the road underwater signs in areas where the water has since dissipated. Now, if you still need sandbags, you can stop by 3 locations. They are Newtown Park, Twin Lakes Park, and also the South County Fleet Facility. The bags are available until 3 o'clock this afternoon. Well, worse is over here, but we can't say the same for the folks in Texas, where things might get worse before they get better there.
Yeah, they hit 40 inches. And,
40 now.
In a suburb of Houston.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a really bad situation there. Hopefully some of that rain shower shield will be moving a little bit further to the east and maybe spare them a whole lot more rainfall, but another 10 inches is certainly possible. So
wow.
this certainly could be historic. Yeah, for us, you know, we still have a flood watch up for Sarasota County and Manatee County, but at least we can say that the chances of seeing any kind of heavier rain showers or flooding rains today is reduced from what it was yesterday. Notice most of the showery activity at this hour is north of Tampa Bay. That's the way it's gonna be all afternoon, I think. Now, we may see 1 or 2 thunderstorms develop across our region, and we may see some showers around, but I think the heavy, driving, persistent rains that we saw yesterday and the day before that are probably not going to happen today, so that's good news. We do have a rain chance coming in at about 40% or so, 30% in some locations, but I don't think that we'll see any of that heavy rain leading to significant flooding this afternoon. Chance to dry out, Ray.
All right, John, talk to you soon. Thank you very much. Developing this noon, an active death investigation in Manatee County. The body of a 20-year-old named Corey Awanski was found in his car behind a plaza on 53rd Avenue East in Bradenton. Foul play is suspected. Deputies say Awanski was last seen by his mother on Saturday. He was missing yesterday. An autopsy will be performed to figure out the official cause of his death. Also developing new at noon, police investigating a suspicious death in Sarasota. It happened yesterday at 22nd Street and Pomdelia Avenue. Police found the body of a male, no name released yet. If you can help, call Sarasota Police Department. An update this noon on a fatal shooting in Bradenton. The murder charges against the person accused have been dropped. Kyle Stackhouse was accused in the death of 24-year-old Nicolette Johnson. The Bradenton Herald reports the case was supposed to go to court on Monday, but was instead dropped. Stackhouse was accused of shooting Johnson last year in the driveway of a home. He has been in custody for the past year. No word yet as to why the case was dropped, but his lawyers were reportedly asking to have more evidence and testimony excluded from trial. A couple's domestic dispute led to a major drug bust in Punta Gorda. Charlotte County Sheriff deputies arrested these two, 29-year-old Roy Larson and 45-year-old Verna Rossi. Deputies responded to a minor disturbance at the house yesterday morning. When they got there, they detected the scent of burning marijuana. Well, a search led to the discovery of THC, an active ingredient in marijuana, also methamphetamines, 2 plastic storage bins of burnt ends of hand-rolled cigarettes that appeared to be spice or synthetic marijuana, and also cash. A substance commonly known as spice was also found in the vehicle. The couple is now facing several drug charges. New at noon, we're learning more about the roster for the team next month for the U.S. Rowing Championship at Benderson Park. The roster includes 78 athletes from 24 states. 19 are Olympians or Paralympians. Almost all competed at a past World Championship. California, the most represented state, with 9 rowers from there. The 2017 World Rowing Championship kicks off September 23rd at Nathan Benderson Park in Sarasota. Still to come in your Suncoast News, we'll tell you why supporters of a Confederate monument in Manatee County want it returned to the old courthouse. And it comes with aging, but it doesn't have to come so fast. How to make your skin look a little better next in Health Smart.
Watch your Suncoast News at 6 on your streaming device for a chance to win a $50 Visa. It's easy. Just watch weekdays at 6 for the word of the week. Then enter the word at mysuncoast.com for your shot at a $50 Visa. We'll pick the winner each week. Good luck. Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com for Chef Judy's favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7. where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
Discover all the reasons the experts love Subaru during the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Nobody beats Subaru in service quality, vehicle quality, and overall quality. And ALG named Subaru the 2017 top brand for residual value. Right now, lease the most fuel-efficient vehicle in its class, a new Subaru Outback for just $229 a month, or get 0% financing. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
ABC 7, your official Florida lottery station for the Suncoast. Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Now there's a pretty sight. Our tower cam showing a little bit of blue sky out there. Love to see that. Of course, with the blue sky comes the sunshine. The sunshine leads to the heating, and it will be a warmer day today than we've seen over the last couple of days, thanks to that little extra bit of sunshine. Ah, what a pretty place we live in, huh? Ah, it's gorgeous. 88 degrees current air temperature, dew point. Oh, is it thick out there with an 80-degree dew point. One of the reasons for that is the fact that we're getting enough sunshine now over land that it's starting to increase our evaporation rates. And goodness knows we have plenty of water to evaporate on the soil and in the ground. So we are going to see kind of high humidities and sticky feel to the air today. We look at a south-southwest wind at about 11, and of course that westerly component to the wind doesn't help a thing either. That's also pumping in moisture, so the combination of the two making it feel very sticky. We'll start off the morning tomorrow morning with a really kind of warm start to the day, probably 81 degrees or so. 86 degrees Mayaca, Arcadia, Wauchula, 87 in Parrish, Bradenton, 89, Lakewood Ranch already. 87 degrees in Northport and Inglewood, 88 in Venice, and Longboat Key comes in at 86. So if we look at the Deep South radar and the Mid-Atlantic radar, we see a couple of things. One, it's called a potential tropical cyclone, and the reason they're doing that, they started it this year and they'll do it from here on, is, well, actually, it's kind of a direct result of Sandy. Remember Sandy, which really needed hurricane warnings up. But they technically couldn't do it because it wasn't quite a hurricane yet, though they knew it would become a hurricane. Well, they've eliminated that problem now by calling this a potential tropical cyclone. So you can put up some tropical storm watches up for the North Carolina and South Carolina coast, and then that system will gradually drift further away from land. Of course, we still have Harvey, a tropical storm still, but nevertheless dropping a lot of rainfall around. Connecting those two systems is a little bit of a frontal boundary, which is lifting north and taking rain showers with it. As it lifts north, we're getting some drier air in here aloft, which is going to allow for probably fewer showers around today and certainly less intense showers, I think. This is the water vapor imagery. Look at these turquoise colors yesterday of the high moisture content air, and now this kind of brownish tan color of low moisture content air starts to work its way in. That'll be with us solidly tomorrow and really give us plenty of sunshine to start the day. It's a nice thing to see. We have a frontal boundary, as I mentioned, kind of connecting these two systems in a very loose kind of way. That frontal boundary is lifting north today. Stalled frontal boundary stalls out to the north of us, takes the rain shower chances with it, and the best chance of rain today will be around the Big Bend region, leaving us with a little chance to dry out. So rain chances are going down. We'll have a warm, humid afternoon. And then the sunshine is really going to return, I think, at full force tomorrow. We're going to see a very sunny day. That's good. It really helped to evaporate some of this moisture around. Tropics, of course, we're going to talk about these two systems, but we also have a third system out there with an 80% chance of development. We'll be watching that one very carefully. It's on a westward track, and it does have the potential for developing by Sunday out in the Atlantic here. So we'll keep an eye on that one. The other system, of course, continues off into the northern waters where it's of no problem to us. We'll talk about Harvey coming up in the next half hour. The forecast for us today, a 40% chance of rain. Tomorrow, only 20%, but hot and humid for the week ahead. Back to you, Ray.
Thank you, John. In our health news now, under the Florida sun, it's often hard to avoid skin damage, but there are things you can do right now to help slow or in some cases reverse the aging process. Take notes now. Erica Foreman has some tips.
By now, most people know that the sun is the biggest offender when it comes to aging the skin. Dr. Amy Kassouf of Cleveland Clinic says most people wear sunscreen in the summer, but wearing a broad spectrum sunscreen every day, all year round, is key to slowing the hands of time.
You want it broad spectrum because it covers UVA. UVA goes deeper, and the deeper ultraviolet rays are more likely to break down your collagen and cause more of the aging changes.
A lesser known offender is inflammation. Inflammatory disease and internal inflammation can take a toll on the skin as well.
Inflammation creates things, enzymes that break down elastic fibers, break down collagen, and sometimes those don't get completely repaired.
One way to help keep inflammation under control is with a diet that's full of antioxidants, like the ones found in brightly colored fruits and vegetables. And if you're a smoker, quitting will give your skin a boost.
If you stop smoking, your skin will look better within weeks because your blood flow will return to your skin. You will have more ability to heal some of the damage that's been done.
According to Dr. Kassouf, simply changing your everyday habits can actually help reverse skin damage. At Cleveland Clinic, I'm Erica Foreman.
Now also, retinol cream can also treat aging skin. It also helps restore collagen and rebuild damaged cells. It can be found over the counter or in prescription strengths. All right, it's time for lunch. We've got a new chef to join us now. Chef Elan is from the new restaurant in the West End Restaurant. And Chef, welcome. What do you have on the menu today?
Today we're going to whip up a delicious key lime curd for you today, so come on back and let's whip it up.
Sounds great. It's coming up.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Being the caregiver for my husband is truly a blessing, but sometimes it's easy to lose a part of myself. To be my best, for him and for me, it's important to have time to be able to recharge. When I called Tidewell Hospice, they gave me the chance to do just that. They helped me find the time to care for myself, all the while with the peace of mind of knowing my husband is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
What if you had a medical emergency away from home?
My chest hurts. I can't breathe.
What you need is Mobile Help, America's premier mobile medical alert system. Most systems only work at home, but with Mobile Help, you get help outside the home with coverage nationwide on one of the largest cellular networks at the press of a button. Call the number on your screen for a free full-color brochure. We'll send you everything you need, including this base station, the patented mobile device, and the waterproof pendant and wrist button. You can also add the fall button that automatically detects falls and signals help. Call today and receive a risk-free 30-day trial. There is no equipment to buy and no long-term contract. For a limited time, you will also receive a free emergency key box with your plan purchase. Remember, Mobile Help keeps you safe coast to coast.
Call 1-800-916-8638. That's 1-800-916-8638.
Attention Sarasota and surrounding cities. After 25 years in Sarasota, Bacon's Furniture and Design will be moving to create Southwest Florida's largest and most dynamic furniture store. We must liquidate everything in the store at huge savings as fast as possible. Do not miss this opportunity to purchase quality sofas, bedrooms, dining rooms, patio furniture, mattresses, and more. All at the absolute lowest prices possible. The Bacon's Furniture and Design relocation sell-off. Nobody beats Bacon's.
Start your day with a new Good Morning Suncoast team. Weekdays starting at 5 a.m.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com. ANDservices.com.
Tragedy at a Florida university after a football player collapsed and died after practice. Nicholas Blakely passed away after practice last night. The 19-year-old was a sophomore at Stetson University. Witnesses say he was complaining of not feeling well beforehand. He was taken to the hospital where he died. The team was preparing for its season opener this weekend at Sacred Heart University in Connecticut. Hurricane Harvey impacting the Houston sports scene now. The Astros will head here to St. Petersburg for the next home games. With the Rays on the road, Houston will take over the Dome. The Astros will host the Texas Rangers in a 3-game series that starts tonight. Now, there's no decision yet on where the Astros will take on the Mets in their next home series. That starts Friday. It could also be played in St. Petersburg. Now, if you want to go to tonight's game, $10, general admission. Line up. And speaking of the Rays, their winning ways continued in Kansas City last night. They got on the board fast. First inning, Evan Longoria flies out to the outfield. Kevin Kiermaier waiting at third. They'll get him home with a sac fly to center. 1-0 Rays. The third, Rays go up 4-0. They take over a commanding 7-0 lead. Final score, the Rays beat the Royals 12-0. An impressive return for Maria Sharapova last night. The Russian is back in the U.S., making her first Grand Slam event after a 15-month doping ban. U.S. Open, that is. She won her opening round match over number 2 seed Simona Halep in 3 sets. The win followed the opening night ceremony, in which Sharapova wore an Audrey Hepburn-inspired gown. Her designer says he chose black for her night matches because it is the same color she won with back in 2006, her only other U.S. Open title. Very interesting subplot there. Let's go back to the kitchen now, where John is joined by our chef, Chef Alon from the new Westin Sarasota. Guys, take it away.
Very happy to have you in the kitchen, Alon.
Thank you so much, John.
This is your first visit here?
First time here.
Please, feel free. The door's open. Come on back anytime you like.
Thank you so much.
The Westin, so it's just opened. Everybody's very excited about that. How's it going over there?
Well, as you said, we took the bubble wrap off of everything, and we're ready to rock and roll over there, and it's been a great adventure. It's been some hard work. Doors are open. Beautiful property, 250 rooms. Beautiful restaurant.
Yeah, little birdie told me the restaurant is absolutely gorgeous.
It's great.
Amazing. Can you still get reservations there?
Yes, reservations are required, but you know what? You can still walk in and find a nice table.
Cool. And you are the pastry chef for the entire shebang.
Yes, sir. The whole shebang.
Well, then I know we're going to eat well this afternoon. What you cooking up for us today?
Today we're going to showcase a key lime curd. So the key lime curd is what we do on top of our key lime cheesecake in Boca, which is our fine dining restaurant over at the hotel.
Nice. Let's get to it.
What we're going to do is we got some hot water going over here.
So you've got a double boiler.
Double boiler. Okay, we got basically our sugar. We're going to do some eggs.
2 eggs.
2 eggs. We got some lemon juice, which is about 2 ounces, and about 4 ounces of lime juice.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Now, do you prefer lime juice, or do you like fresh limes, or does it make any difference?
You know, to me, it really doesn't make any difference. It's all about a convenient product. You know, I use the Nelly's, which is a fabulous product. And if you look at the ingredients, it's basically 100% key lime.
Do you get this anywhere?
Anywhere.
All right, so you can use this at home then.
Yeah. So the water bath, I mean, basically what you got to do is just keep whipping this till it gets nice and thick.
Now, what about, I see you've made your own here. I know you can buy them, you know, all fancy schmancy at the kitchen stores and have it in your home, but this works perfectly fine as well, right?
This is perfectly fine. And
multitask.
Multitasking, and it's beautiful light dessert. The kids love it. The adults love it.
Key lime is the best.
Key lime.
Absolutely.
I mean, this is Florida.
Exactly.
This is wonderful.
Now, you were talking earlier. This guy comes from a family of restaurateurs.
I
Your
do.
dad, a chef, came up with the idea of the turkey roll, actually,
roll.
and patented that.
Yes, sir.
That's pretty amazing.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I loved it. I mean, it was a story that I tell a lot of people, and it got me, you know, I guess it runs in the family, runs in the blood, you know.
Yeah, and then
my
your mom and Italian. You gotta be a good cook.
You gotta
right?
be a good Italian cook. You know, I used to spend lots of times in the kitchen with her. It was great. And that's what it really got me going in the kitchen, was just spending those fun times with your mom baking.
It really is all about that.
It is great. So we're going to continue to whip this up nice and light. And as you see, it gets really nice and frothy. And the more you whip it, the more lighter you're going to get it. And that's what you really want.
So in a water bath like this, do you have to use a rapidly boiling pot of water, or is it just simmering, or what's the proper way to do that?
Well, the key is exactly, as you said, get it nice and boiling in the beginning, so when you put your ingredients, it automatically starts cooking. You can bring it down to a medium temperature as far as the flame or the electricity, and that will work itself out fine.
And I notice you're using a whisk for this operation.
Yes,
do you kind of shun those electric gadgets that you can use?
I do, and nothing like hard work, you know,
Yeah.
sweating in the kitchen, I'm telling you.
Nothing comes without a little labor, right?
Yeah, so as you see, I mean, we got this really diverse recipe that if you try it at home, you can do so many different things with it. As you see, I made some little martinis. I did some beautiful key lime martinis.
What have you got over there?
I
see. Those look absolutely gorgeous. I have one here. What are these exactly?
These are little bite-sized key lime cheesecakes. All right, so it's a little bit of a baby rendition of the big one.
That
here.
is so good.
All right, so you see as it starts to thicken up, we've got it nice and light. How is that good?
That's delicious.
I know. You know what I love about this is just the layers. Sometimes you just get flavor inside of a cheesecake or just a dessert. I love the layering of things, and that's just, you know, it just adds that extra finesse to it.
Speaking of layers. This is looking good.
I was about to say. This is awesome.
Hey, speaking of layers, you have layers to your career, too. You've been a two-time Food Network chef, right?
Yes, that's correct. I was on the Food Network twice. Back in the day, I was on Sweet Genius, which is, you know, a great show. It's almost like Chopped. They give you a, what do they give you, a secret ingredient, and I had like ramen noodles. I'm like, what am I going to do with ramen noodles?
That, right?
And the other one was Dessert Games with Duff, and he's a total trip.
Well, this looks about ready to go. So while you get that ready to pour, I'm going to tell everybody that the recipe for this is on our website, mysuncoast.com. We're going to, you go there, the recipe's there, the video instructions, and Alon will show you how to do it as well. Finishing it up here, you put that on top.
Keep it simple.
Of the cake.
I mean,
is the cake recipe on the website too?
No, but you know what? You're going to have to invite me back, and I'm going to have to make this beautiful cheesecake for you, okay?
Well, let's do that. Well, this looks absolutely great, and I know this custard is fantastic. There's the finished product up there. Chef, thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
Can't wait
Greatly
to try your
appreciate
restaurant.
it.
Sounds great. We'll be right back.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $10 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand, with no surprises, and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received J.D. Power Awards for highest customer service. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 800-457-2317, go online, or visit a Target store today.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline if you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death. You must call now.
Call 800-793-6055. 800-793-6055.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. The pressure is on to return the Confederate War Memorial in downtown Manatee County. A citizens coalition is calling for commissioners to, quote, do the right thing. Our Jess Dowdrick is just back from a morning press conference with more on this story. Jess?
Good afternoon, Ray. This group feels that the county commission caved from the pressure of the groups who protested the Confederate monument. They're calling it scandalous, unacceptable, and disrespectful to American veterans. Now they're asking commissioners to put the statue back. Save Southern Heritage Florida has now started a petition in an effort to re-erect the Confederate monument outside of the historic Manatee County Courthouse. The monument was taken down last week following a protest and vote by county commissioners to do so. The petition already has nearly 2,000 signatures. Not only does this petition ask commissioners to put the monument back, it also calls for the resignation of Commissioner Betsy Banak, the county administrator, and Commissioner Charles Smith. The group is also asking state lawmakers to protect all Confederate statues throughout the state.
Florida is not going to be bullied by Black Lives Matter, the Uhuru movement, Antifa, and anarchists. That's not who we are. Our state is too great to accept all that hate.
Here in Manatee County, if we really have an issue that's causing us concern, well, we get together and we work it out. We don't do it under a faux emergency crisis type of mentality to just basically overlook the rules.
Now, we've reached out to Manatee County government to get a response to today's campaign. Their communications staff says that nothing has changed with the county commissioners. Now, some members of the group that gathered today called for a referendum on the 2018 ballot, something the commissioners did talk about at their meeting, so that Manatee County residents can decide what happens in the future with this monument. Ray.
All right, stay tuned. Thank you, Jess. The Confederate controversy continues now on college campuses as well. The University of Maryland has temporarily stopped playing the state's official song after some question the pro-Confederate tone in the song. They say it says, Maryland, my Maryland, includes a reference to Northern scum and blasts former President Abe Lincoln. Students have mixed opinions.
When the marching band plays the song, there are no words, so it's hard to say whether or not it does have that Confederate connotation.
To make all students feel home and welcome, then that's what needs to happen.
The song is usually played before every football game. Some lawmakers in Maryland want the state to adopt a new song. President Trump has a warning for North Korea. He says all options are on the table. The response comes after another provocative missile launch by dictator Kim Jong-un. ABC's Elizabeth Herr has details on North Korea's blast over Japan.
Sirens blaring and text alerts blasting. The Japanese government using whatever means available to alert its citizens take cover. Japan's Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, calling North Korea's latest launch a serious and grave threat, spoke to President Trump by phone. The White House saying this morning both leaders are now committed to increasing pressure on Pyongyang. And North Korea launched a missile that flew over Japan the first time this year, landing in the ocean off the northern island of Hokkaido. In response, South Korea staged a live bombing drill to let North Korea know they are prepared to defend themselves. South Korea does not believe the missile fired in this latest launch was a long-range ICBM, similar to the ones the North has tested earlier this year. But an intermediate ballistic missile, still, the missile traveled over 1,600 miles.
North Korea best not make any more threats to the United States.
Earlier this month, President Trump promised fire and fury like the world has never seen if North Korea continues its threats. In the meantime, a UN official speaking from Geneva today remained hopeful for a diplomatic solution.
My hope is that North Korea ends this provocative behavior.
Urging a global response, we are told both Japan and the U.S. called for another emergency UN Security Council meeting, and that meeting is now scheduled for later this afternoon. Elizabeth Herr, ABC News, New York.
A change of heart for Joel Osteen. The pastor has decided to open his church to storm evacuees in Texas. The televangelist was being criticized for allegedly closing the doors of his mega church in Houston to people in need. But Osteen says he has never closed the doors to people seeking shelter and is prepared to house people once shelters reach capacity. The mega church can shelter several thousand people. Church officials posted on social media that it was inaccessible because of flooding. Some people took that as a sign they are not welcome, but Osteen denies that claim. A dog that got lost last week and then Tropical Storm Harvey is being back with its owners now thanks to one man and Twitter. Storm chaser Aaron Jajak found this dog in Runge, Texas on Saturday. He says the dog jumped into his car at a gas station, but Jajak says he had no idea where his new furry friend came from. He posted a video on Twitter asking his followers for assistance, and that post went viral.
I need help trying to find his owner. So if you can share, tweet, whatever you got to do to help.
Jajak nicknamed the pup Harvey, but it turned out his real name is Cash. His owners were eventually tracked down, and as if the reunion wasn't enough, it happened on National Dog Day. All sorts of stories emerging from Houston. There's a nice one for a change, but a lot of bad stories right now from Texas.
A lot of animals being evacuated. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dogs and cats being rescued, and bunny rabbits and everything else. Not to mention the people, and I guess the shelters really are just jam-packed.
Tens of thousands in shelters, and many of them have pets.
Yeah, and with this levee now overtopping, it looks like there could be further problems with residents that as of yet have not been flooded. So let's hope that let's hope that doesn't happen. We have across our region today a chance to dry out, which is a nice thing. We do have a flood watch up for Sarasota and Manatee County, and it is possible a shower or thunderstorm could develop, and certainly the flood watch is a prudent thing to do considering the ground there saturated, and we're really just on the dividing line between heavier rain showers just to the north of Tampa Bay, so it's a smart thing to do. But the good news is, looking at the Van Wezel webcam, putting it into time lapse, we got a lot of blue sky out there, and that blue sky has been with us consistently all day long, so we're glad to see that. And the rain showers are mostly to the north of Tampa Bay right now, and I think that might be the way it stays. We'll talk about that coming up in just a few.
All right, thank you, John. An unusual robbery in Pennsylvania where police say two women tried to hold up a bank dressed as nuns. Here they are. Police released these photos that shows the women wearing a black nun's habit and veil. One woman also had sunglasses on. Police say both walked into the bank, showed a gun, demanded money from a teller. And here's the second twist. They left without taking any money. On to consumer news now. A recall for owners of Volkswagens. The company is recalling about 281,000 of its CC Passat sedan and wagons because of the fuel pumps can fail and cause the cars to suddenly stall. The recall covers the CC 2009 through 2016 model years and the Passat sedan and wagon from 2006 to 2010. Owners will be notified about the recall by October. Well, here's an idea for a quick getaway. Starting this fall, you can catch a non-stop flight from Tampa to the Big Easy. Spirit Airlines adding the flight to New Orleans from several cities, including Tampa. The new routes begin the 9th of November. You can buy tickets right now. Good idea. Still to come, honoring the pioneers of the Suncoast. We'll tell you about a project to polish the past in Manatee County.
Hi, I'm Jeff Benninghoff, the General Manager here at APC7. In my last message to the Suncoast community, I made a commitment to keep DirecTV viewers informed about ongoing negotiations to keep APC7 on their system. We continue to work with them, but as of yet, they have not agreed to a fair deal to keep this channel on their lineup after August 31st. It wouldn't be the first time DirecTV left their customers in the dark. In fact, since 2015, DirecTV has dropped local channels from their lineup 14 times, affecting millions of viewers. We regret that DirecTV keeps putting their subscribers in the middle of these negotiations. It should not be your problem. After all, you pay 100% of your bill every single month to DirecTV. Why should you have to worry about losing APC7? You can always locate information on this situation at www.ourlocalcommitment.com/WWSB. We will continue to work to reach an agreement without interruption and continue to keep you, the viewer, informed. And remember, you always have choices. We are free over the air at mysuncoast.com, our free news and weather apps, Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, and also available through other local providers. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
This is important news for women who were administered chemotherapy intravenously for breast cancer and then suffered permanent hair loss. The chemotherapy drug Taxotere has been linked to permanent alopecia or permanent hair loss. Some women administered the breast cancer chemotherapy drug Taxotere have suffered from permanent hair loss on scalp, eyebrows, and eyelashes. The FDA has urged doctors and the manufacturer to warn women administered Taxotere of the risk of permanent hair loss. If you or a loved one were administered chemotherapy intravenously for breast cancer and suffered permanent hair loss, you may have a right to a cash award and medical expenses. If you suffered permanent hair loss after chemotherapy for breast cancer, call the law offices of Davis & Crump at the number below right now to find out if you are eligible for a cash award and medical expenses. Call the law offices of Davis & Crump right now. Our first consultation is free, and we don't get paid unless you get paid. Call now. Operators are standing by.
Attention Sarasota and surrounding cities. After 25 years in Sarasota, Bacon's Furniture and Design will be moving to create Southwest Florida's largest and most dynamic furniture store. We must liquidate everything in the store at huge savings as fast as possible. Do not miss this opportunity to purchase quality sofas, bedrooms, dining rooms, patio furniture, mattresses, and more, all at the absolute lowest prices possible. The Bacon's Furniture and Design relocation sell-off. Nobody beats Bacon's.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
When severe weather strikes, trust ABC7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you. Now your ABC7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Yep, well on our way to cracking the 80-degree mark today with an 88-degree temperature, but I think the thing that really stands out in this data is the dew point coming in at 80 degrees right now. Really, that's about as warm as it gets, an 80-degree dew point. That is very humid, thick air. But it's kind of just at the surface. Aloft, the air is actually drying out just a little bit. South-southwest wind coming in about 11, aiding and keeping that moisture high. But of course, the thing that's really helping out is the evaporation of the water that's everywhere. We're looking at 88 degrees in Parrish, Mayaca City, 87 degrees in Wauchula, Arcadia, Punta Gorda, 88 degrees in Northport, 88 in Venice, 87 in Inglewood and Longboat Key, and as I just mentioned, Sarasota coming in at 88. 89 degrees in Bradenton, just about at the 90-degree mark already. We have this potential tropical cyclone moving off the coast of the mid-Atlantic right now. Could bring a little rain showers to the U.S. Open as it moves away, but it's only a 24-hour deal. I think as we head into tomorrow, this system will be pulling away from the mid-Atlantic coastline. Also, of course, Harvey just inundating the coastline, really even producing showers on the very periphery of the Florida Panhandle now, but most of the rain falling right along the Louisiana coastline and just into Texas, around Houston, of course. We have across our region some pretty quiet conditions now, quieter than we've seen over the last several days, that's for sure, and only a few scattered showers around. Now, it is possible that we could see 1 or 2 showers around, and we do have a flood watch up for both Manatee and Sarasota counties, but you know, our rain chance today, much lower than it was yesterday. And in terms of persistent flooding rains, one after another, heavy rain showers, I really don't see that in the forecast. I see a lot of bluer skies today than we saw yesterday, and I'll show you why that is. We have some dry air indicated here by the tan lifting northward. And that's in response to a frontal boundary actually lifting northward as well. Yesterday, these turquoise colors of high moisture content air is being replaced by that tan color of drier air. That's a loft, and it's helping to kind of limit the number of storms we get today. Plus, at the surface, sometimes you need a kicker to really get things going. Oftentimes, it's warmth by this daytime heating. But over the last couple of days, this frontal boundary has been low enough that it's also helped in producing kind of a troughiness across the region. Well, that's lifted a little bit further to the north now, and will focus the shower and thunderstorm activity to our north around the Big Bend region. So our rain chances continue to go down. We'll have a warm and humid afternoon, and the sunshine, I think, returns full force tomorrow. We'll have fewer clouds around. Harvey, 45-mile-an-hour winds moving to the north-northeast now, slowly at about 5 miles per hour, really creeping across these warm Atlantic waters. Will probably make landfall somewhere in Louisiana on Wednesday morning and then move rapidly off into the Ohio Valley. This one also will watch. It should dissipate, but some of its moisture could bring more showers to the U.S. Open by midweek next week, so we'll see about that. 40% chance of rain today, 20% tomorrow, and then as we head into the weekend, warm and humid with our standard afternoon showers. Ray?
Thank you, John. There's a group in Manatee County that helps preserve our past, our distant past, and they need help. Our Linda Carson has details in a place we call home.
The Manatee Burying Ground was the first cemetery in Manatee County.
Started in 1850. The land was deeded by the Gates family, and they were the first white settlers in Manatee County.
Many other prominent settlers are buried here.
There's the Glazer family. Ezekiel Glazer actually helped to build the courthouse and built the courthouse that we have here at Manatee Village Historical Park. The Pelote family, they have Pelote's drugstore downtown. John Cruz Pelote was actually the Surgeon General at Andersonville Prison. We have some Union soldiers, we have Confederate soldiers.
The cemetery holds a very valuable part of Suncoast history, and to preserve and protect that history, the cemetery will get a good cleaning on September 9th. The public will be allowed to participate.
We have 20 spots available, so you need to register on our Facebook page, which is Manatee Village Historical Park.
The Florida Public Archaeology Network will be on hand that day to teach you what to do and how to do it properly.
We'll be cleaning the headstones. We'll be looking at the grounds, doing some ground penetrating radar examples that Florida Public Archaeology Network will be doing. And they'll just kind of be showcasing what to do when you're cleaning a headstone.
You'll also learn to clean the ground safely. For instance, just yanking the weeds off this grave might destroy the whole structure, so it couldn't be repaired. By cleaning the cemetery and preserving it properly, historians will be able to learn more about the people who once lived here.
Cemeteries are outdoor museums. Every tombstone has a story to tell.
And those stories are not just important to the descendants of those buried here, but also to the newcomers in our community.
Studies have shown that when newcomers arrive in a community, they become part of that community faster, and there's more civic engagement and civic responsibility when people know their local history, and cemeteries play a big part in that.
This is the grave of Henry Clark, the first person buried here. There's a very interesting story about that. Charles Macy was at Henry Clark's funeral. When he saw that the ground was going down because of the wet weather, he said, "Don't ever bury me here. When I die, send me back up north for burial." So when he died, nobody was going up north for a while, so they put him in the whiskey barrel and pickled him until somebody could finally take him home for burial. Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Well, pardon the pun, but Linda clearly buried the lead. Still to come, another baby for the founder of Facebook. We'll tell you his advice to his young daughter. And if you've ever been to Cracker Barrel, you may have seen this couple. We'll tell you why after this.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-685-6422, 800-685-6422.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I'm creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah, yeah.
When severe weather strikes, trust ABC 7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
A record audience for HBO's Game of Thrones. The season finale on Sunday drew 10.7 million viewers. That tops the season premiere, 10.1 million. This season, Game of Thrones was ranked the second most viewed series. Its 8th and final season is scheduled to air next year. Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg is a new dad once again. He and his wife welcoming their new daughter, August, her name is, born in August. A photo was posted on Facebook, of course. Zuckerberg's posting a piece of advice for his daughter, saying it's important for her to enjoy being a kid because the world will be serious when she grows up. The couple already have a 20-month-old daughter named Maxima. Hope they can afford all these kids. A big happy birthday to the king of pop. Michael Jackson would have been 59 today. 19-year-old daughter Paris Jackson paid tribute to her father by sharing a childhood photo on Instagram. And in Las Vegas, Cirque du Soleil is putting on a one-time-only performance to Jackson's Blood on the Dance Floor. With 40 Billboard Awards, 13 Grammys, 23 Guinness World Records, and 26 American Music Awards, Jackson remains the most awarded artist of all time. And finally now, an epic food trip for one couple. They have visited every Cracker Barrel restaurant in the country. Ray Yoder marked his 81st birthday yesterday with his wife Wilma at Cracker Barrel in Oregon. They were flown there with all expenses paid by the company. Cracker Barrel says it has 645 restaurants in 44 states, and Yoder says they have visited all of them. He says he had the idea to eat at every Cracker Barrel back in the 1970s.
Well, everybody does something, usually anyway, so we thought we would do this and it would be fun. So, yeah, it worked out.
Yes, it did. After this trip, the Yoders will fly to a taping of the Steve Harvey Show in Chicago, may also appear on Kelly and Ryan in New York. They must love Cracker Barrel. They must have been to the one near us as well.
Wow. I went to my first Cracker Barrel last week.
Oh, that recently?
Yes. First time.
Was that around here?
No, it was in South Carolina.
Oh, that's right. You were there for the eclipse.
But it was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
It does have quite a country
vibe.
Country
feel.
Vibe. Yeah,
yes.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We have across our region today still a flood watch and warning, a flood warning actually for some of the area rivers and creeks. But we also have a flood watch up for all of Manatee County and all of Sarasota County. But the rain chance today, really it's about half of what it was yesterday. And I think if we do get some showers or a thunderstorm or two, we won't see that training of one after another after another.
Yeah.
That business has moved a little further to the north.
Good. It's been since last Wednesday. We've had rain like crazy. All right, John. We'll see you tomorrow on Good Morning Suncoast. Our next news at 5 o'clock. Have a nice afternoon, folks.